So what was powering the sun? That was one of the things that we were really interested in. We've always been interested in that. There was a idea that the sun was just made of iron, and we couldn't explain why it was making so much energy, why it was making so much heat. And One of the reasons I thought it was made of iron is because basically the center of Earth is iron, and asteroids and things and meteors that we collected on Earth are made from iron. So we just assumed, that makes sense. It's probably iron, but obviously it wasn't. Okay, so we kind of worked out it was hydrogen. I think it was a scientist called Cecilia Payne who worked that out, which is really cool, using spectroscopy. So we worked out it was made of hydrogen. We knew it was like producing way too much energy to be due to any chemical reaction, because there was no chemical reaction we could think of on Earth that could produce the amount of heat that was coming from the sun. So it had to be something else. And this is where Einstein's equals mc squared equation comes in. So if you look at that equation, and we've done this in the last topic, so I've included a question here, but you've already done this question. I just want you to remember it. We know that even a very small amount of mass will be converted to like quite a large amount of energy, and that's because you're multiplying it by the speed of light squared. So, we talked about how much mass is burnt from the sun every day and how much energy that releases, and it's a huge amount. And so now we know that process that's actually causing this massive release of energy is nuclear fusion. So when we fuse things, we join them together. Nuclear fission is where we split atoms and where we use radioactive decay, and that's what we're using in nuclear power stations and on Earth. But nuclear fusion is something that you need hugely high temperatures and pressures for, and it's very hard for us to actually produce those conditions on Earth. So this is how the sun actually creates its energy. So like I said, the sun's mainly hydrogen, and the core of the sun is so hot and it's so dense that basically those hydrogen atoms, the electrons are actually stripped off them, and you've just got a plasma kind of blob of protons and electrons just pinging around, flying around. And when two protons collide together, they can actually form a helium atom, and we're going to go through that process soon. And it's really cool.